And good evening, everyone, and welcome in to the UFC Fight Cards podcast presented by Orange Fire Media. I'm your host, Russ Renault. Thanks for joining us here on a Sunday night in Houston, Texas, as we talk about the UFC and the UFC trading card hobby. We're on an hour late tonight, so I apologize for that. Usually we're on every Sunday live at 9 p.m. Central, so just an hour late, and hopefully some of you are catching it on replay sometime later on in the week. But thanks a lot for joining us here tonight on the show, because we've got a big one coming up for you, as later on in our second half of the show we'll be opening up this box of select, as well as going through our hits from the last couple of weeks, from Prism to Donruss and even last week's select. So we've got a lot in store. So if this is your first time joining us here on the show, we do two things. There's two meanings to UFC fight cards. The first thing that we do is we recap the weekend's event, and then we look ahead to the schedule over the next couple of months. So those are the fight cards, and then the second half of the show we will open up that box of select, and those are also the fight cards with the trading cards. And so we talk about fights a little bit differently, because as I've said 100 times on the show, I'm not here to break down every fight. And I'm here to look at the key matchups and kind of talk about what they mean for the future, what they mean for the hobby. So, because there's a lot of great podcasts with fighters and former fighters that will break down fights and tell you what happened. But I know what happened, you know what happened. So we'll just kind of talk about it in that context of what it means for those fighters going forward. So we can kind of preview some matchups that may be coming up later on in the next few months. So let's get right to it. So the one thing is, everything on the show is for sale or trade, if it's a good trade. So you can contact me a few ways. You can email me, russ@orange-fire.com. You can find me on what is now X, at FightCardsRuss, or at Orange Fire Media. You can find me on Facebook, Russ Renault, Reneau, or Orange Fire Media. And we also have a store on eBay. So you can find that Orange Fire lots of lots. We usually have a good deal of stuff listed. We do this week because we have our select from last week is up. So a little bit of it moved, but not the big ones. So you'll get to see those again. And we're really excited about those, because they were pretty good autos that we hit last week. And you'll get to see them as we go back through the hits. So let's go ahead and talk about UFC 291 from Salt Lake City last night, and it was billed as a great card, and I think it kind of lived up to it. Disappointing for me. I'm a big Dustin Poirier fan, but I kind of had a feeling what was going to happen, and because in a main event, if it's one of the fighters that I like, usually they lose on a big pay-per-view anyway. At least Tom Aspinall took care of me last week, but Poirier, hate to see him lose, but Justin Gaethje, give him credit. What a great head kick there in the second round for the knockout, and evening up their matchup now 1 apiece. And what that means going ahead for Justin Gaethje is a title shot. I would suspect that he's going to get the winner of Islam Makhachev and Charles Oliveira, and we'll talk about that. UFC 294 coming up in Abu Dhabi on October 22nd, so we'll see what happens after that, but you got to think that Justin Gaethje will be looking forward to a matchup for the title. So in the co-main event, that was also a great matchup that could have title implications going forward. And so the second-ranked middleweight contender, the former champion, Alex Pereira, defeating number 3, Jan Blachowicz, the former light heavyweight champion. And Pereira making his light heavyweight debut, and he takes a split decision over Jan Blachowicz. And this could mean a huge matchup coming up down the road. So what we saw in that fight was Blachowicz winning round 1 and Pereira winning round 2. So it came down to round 3, and they just figured that Alex did more damage than Blachowicz's ground control. Just weigh those, the judges weighing those two things, and they raised the hand of Alex Pereira. I didn't see a lot of problem with that on social media. It seemed nobody calling it a robbery or anything, but I think everybody wants to see what that next step looks like. I think everybody wants to see Alex Pereira against Yuri Prochazka. So that should be coming up down the road now. That should set up that matchup. So that is something that we probably need to see now that Jamal Hill is injured and that title is vacant. You give the former champion his chance to come back. They guaranteed him a title shot when he came back. So Prochazka is healthy, and now you would think that Alex Pereira, probably at a more natural weight, 205 for him, easier weight cut, that this would be a good matchup. So Prochazka and Pereira somewhere down the line. So biggest surprise of the night, I think for most people, was the 11th ranked heavyweight in the world, Derek Lewis, knocking out Marcos Rogerio de Lima in the first round, 33 seconds in. A TKO for Derek Lewis. You didn't know what you were getting from Derek coming out. He didn't look real motivated his last time out, getting knocked out, but he looked great and came out with a flying knee, knocked Rogerio de Lima down, and it just went to town and took care of business and took off his shorts. So that's what Derek Lewis does. Great win for Derek Lewis. Gets him back on the map, and we'll see what happens with him down the road. I don't think he's faced Tom Aspinall yet. I don't know that Tom would want to take that step back. He just fought Marcin Tybura. But just the way I think about that is that they fought so close together that could be something that could be done. But you look down the road, I think Tom has his sights on Cyril Gane, and we'll talk about that one in just a little bit. So let's go down a little bit of the rest of the card. We'll do that quickly. Bobby Green defeating Tony Ferguson. 6 straight losses now for Tony, and you got to think that if he's not done, that he may not be thinking about it, but the UFC may be thinking about letting him go, because Tony Ferguson's probably not wanting to go out that way, but the choice may be made for him. And also, another kind of a surprise in the welterweight division, Kevin Holland defeating number 12 Michael Chiesa with a submission in the first round. So Kevin Holland, looking at him to be ranked next week, and that's probably the big ones on the card. If we go down a little bit, just talk about some of the rookies in the 2023 product. Jake Matthews getting a win by submission in the second round over Darius Flowers. He had 2 rookies facing off against each other, 2 of the 2023 rookies. Uros Medic defeating Matthew Simmelsberger with a TKO in the third round. So then we now will turn our attention to the rest of the schedule over the next few months. Had a few events added this week. Nothing huge, but we'll just run through kind of the main events coming up. Next week, we got Fight Night, August 5th in Nashville. We've got number 4 Corey Sandhagen against number 6 Rob Font in the bantamweight division for that main event. Co-main event, women's strawweight matchup between number 5 Jessica Andrade and number 10 Tatiana Suarez. Also got top 15 light heavyweight matchup with number 14 Dustin Jacoby taking on number 15 Kennedy Nzechukwu. We go to Fight Night on August 12th at the Apex. Number 9 Rafael dos Anjos against number 10 Vicente Luque in a welterweight main event. And the light heavyweight co-main event, number 13 Khalil Roundtree Jr. against number 14 Chris Daukaus. Then we get to UFC 292 in Boston on August 19th. The bantamweight title on the line with the champion Aljamain Sterling defending against number 2 Sean O'Malley. The co-main event also a title matchup, women's strawweight division. Zhang Weili putting her title up against Amanda Lemos. Also, a lot of ranked fighters on that card. Everybody on the main card in the top 15. So you got Chito Vera against Pedro Munoz, number 6 against number 10 in the bantamweight division. You got number 7 against number 8 in the bantamweight division with Rob Font and Song Yadong. And then you finish off that main card with a welterweight matchup between number 8 Jeff Neal and number 14 Ian Gary. So then we head to Fight Night August 26th in Singapore. Featherweight main event between number 2 Max Holloway, number 7 Chan Sung Young, the Korean Zombie. Light heavyweight matchup for the co-main, number 7 Anthony Smith against number 10 Ryan Spann. And also a big women's flyweight matchup with two top 5 ranked women, Taila Santos and Erin Blanchfield. So then we look down and we get to Fight Night September 2nd in Paris. A lot has been filled out on that card. Number 2, Cyril Gane. Number 8, Sergey Spivak in the heavyweight division as the main event. Co-main women's flyweight matchup between number 2, Manon Fiorot, and the number 2 ranked strawweight contender, Rose Namajunas, the former champion, making her flyweight debut. We look down that card, and our fan favorite, former Baylor Bear Haley Cowan, will be making her second Octagon appearance against Zara Farron in the women's bantamweight division. And then we get to UFC 293, September 9th in Sydney. We still don't have a main event for that one, and that's kind of anybody's guess right now, because you look at the title matchups that could be looming out there, and you think that'd be too quick of a turnaround for Alex Pereira to take on Yuri Prochazka. Prochazka may be ready, and Pereira may not be. I think that's just too quick, but we'll see. So then we get to Fight Night September 16th at T-Mobile Arena, and there is a championship matchup on this Fight Night card, women's flyweight matchup between the champion Alexa Grasso and the former champion number 1 contender Valentina Shevchenko. A great co-main event in the welterweight division. Number 6 Shavkat Rakhmonov against number 12 Kelvin Gastelum. Then UFC 294 October 22nd in Abu Dhabi. Got the champion in the lightweight division, Islam Makhachev, taking on the former champion, number 1 contender Charles Oliveira. Middleweight co-main, number 4 Hamzat Chimaev against number 7 Paulo Costa. And we've also got a middleweight matchup between number 13 Nasruddin Imavov and Ikram Askalarov. And that sets us up for November 11th, UFC 295 from New York City, Madison Square Garden. Got John Jones, the heavyweight champion, against the all-time heavyweight great, number 3 ranked Stipe Miocic. So looking forward to that great heavyweight matchup and see what happens after that, whether it be Sergey Pavlovich or Tom Aspinall get the winner. So lots of things could happen down the road. So I do want to let you know what's going on in the show for the next couple of weeks. So we're going to open 2 boxes of Select. So we had a case of Prism and a case of Don Russ. And so we went through 8 boxes of Prism. So we have 4 left. And I think we've gone through 5 boxes of Don Russ. So we've got 5 left. We're just going to do the 2 boxes of Select, and then we'll get to our other hobby boxes. So I think we'll do the Don Russ first, and we'll save the Prism for later. If that's okay with everybody, just so we have a hobby box to open here for the next few weeks. So just looking, and I wish we could have, had some more Select, but we've got to get our numbers up, and we've got to make this show better and start bringing those guests on pretty soon, so that we can grow this and really have a really great community. So what I want to do now is take a look at what we've hit over the last couple of weeks. So let's put our box of Select over here to the side for a second. And let's start with the Prism, since that was a while back that we opened these, but I do like to show everybody what we still have left. So got an Israel Adesanya throwback signatures, and we've redeemed that, so we're waiting on that to come in. Good luck. Got the Prism purple that would go with that. I've also got BJ Penn champion signatures redemption that we sent off for. Got a little bit of a Bryce Mitchell rainbow going here with the Mojo, Blue Wave, green with the retail, a little press proof in there. Like to keep those all together, throw them in there. Give everybody an extra card or 2 when they buy something. Andrea Lee with the teal, purple press proof in there. Then we got Tabitha Ricci, a Baby Shark orange, the Ruby Wave, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rookie cards. Got Sergey Pavlovich with the orange, number to 99. Got the blue wave. Throwing that rookie with it. Lucas Almeida with the blue. Those are numbered to 175. So Lucas Almeida rookie. Got a ruby wave we'd put with that. And also a silver. Song Yudong got a couple. Got the regular red at 199. And we got a ruby wave. Got a silver press proof. Yair Rosenstrike, we got a prism red. We've also got the cracked ice. And we've got a ruby wave. And we've got a Said Yakub Kakramanov red, number to 199. So let's get our prism back. Let's take a look at the Donruss that we pulled over the last month or so before last week. The best ones we usually put first. So we've got this Damon Jackson blue hollow laser auto that we're still holding on to. So that's numbered to 25. Got a rookie to go with it. Volkan Ozdemir red hollow laser. We've got some select cards that go with that. We've got the tricolor and the silver select of Volkan Ozdemir. Big winner last night, Derek Lewis with the silver hollow laser, numbered to 99. Got our memorabilia cards with Michel Pereira, numbered. These aren't numbered. It's just octagon canvas. Got Robert Whitaker and Jeff Neal. Got a Jeff Neal Hyper to go with that. So then we get to select, and thought we did pretty well in that first box last week. So let's start off with this one. So the Jack Della Maddalena purple rookie auto, numbered to 49. So still holding on to that right now. Also got a Corey Sandhagen auto with tie-dye. Octagon Action Signatures, and that one's numbered to 25, number 5 of 25. The Corey Sandhagen. We'll even throw you in a red, numbered to 199 on that. I've got a press proof. So then our memorabilia card last week was Alexander Rakic with the Sparks. That one's numbered to 99. Got silver we can give you to go with that. Drew Dober with the neon green. I'm kind of getting to know some of these colors a little bit better. Some of them throw you off a little bit, but Drew Dober, neon green 75. Dustin Poirier with the white prism, number 6 of 125. Verna Jandaroba with the red. That's number 175. Adrian Yanez with the die cut. That's a silver. Then we'll throw in some of these aren't numbered, but we like their color anyway. So Colby Covington with a tricolor. Dominic Reyes, tricolor. Then Jamal Hill with silver. Then we look at a couple of the rookies we pulled last week. Did pretty well on those with Aaron Blanchfield. Then Alex Pereira. So that was our select pull from last week. All right, so now it's time for this week's box of select. So we're looking for 2 autos and a memorabilia card. Get these gloves on, protect those cards the best we can. Everybody that wants to purchase something or trade, purchase be the better route to go. We want to buy more product for this show. So like I said, you can reach me at russ@orange-fire.com. Find me on X at FightCardsRuss or at OrangeFire Media. Find me on Facebook, Russ Renault, RENEAU, or OrangeFire Media. And on eBay, you can find us OrangeFire Lots of Lots. We've got cards listed there, and they usually we have one listed, and you'll end up getting more than one card from me because I'll send whatever I have of that fighter that I just have. So you'll usually end up getting more than what's listed. So let me find a sleeve for that memorabilia card real quick. Had those in a separate pile, so let's get to this box of Select. So here's rip number 2 of 2023 UFC Select here on the UFC Fight Cards podcast. We were doing so well. We were being really consistent. We had our first, 20-something shows. We were like clockwork. Sunday night, 9 o'clock, and then 4th of July hit, and everything goes crazy. We moved that one to Monday that week, and this one at 10 o'clock, but we're getting it done. So here we go. We've got 12 packs, 5 cards each, 2 autos, 1 memorabilia card. So let's see what we got. The base cards: Holly Holm, John Castaneda, Matt Hughes, global icons of the Mohamed Mokaev, and got a silver Yan Xiaonan. That's a premier level. So we'll go back through everything we hit at the end of the show. But nothing too exciting in that pack. So here we go: Derek Brunson, Michelle Pereira, Renat Fakhradanov, good rookie to pull. Leon Edwards of Global Icons. And then we got purple rookie Carlos Ulberg. So that one's numbered to 99. It's a premier level. We got Carlos Ulberg. He has a fight coming up. And we'll try to find it here in a minute. There we go. He's on UFC 293, that Sydney card that doesn't have a main event yet. So he'll be taking on Da Woon Young, light heavyweight matchup there. So Carlos Ulberg with the purple. Brock Lesnar, Max Griffin. Oh, there we go. Nice. Bo Nickel with the Octagon side. It's the first Octagon side. We didn't have one last week. Probably can't get much better than that one. Usually we do a hobby top 5, but it hasn't changed in a while. Alex Pereira, he almost changed it last night, but he stays at number 5. But there's a Bo Nickel octagon side. I'm not going to complain about that one. Here's our memorabilia card. So, got Billy Quarantillo with the Sparks. And that one is not numbered. Gotta get the other one. So we pulled the Billy Q auto this year, and then that last card is actually a numbered card. Jamal Hill. So numbered to 149. I think that's a maroon. Let's see. I'm trying to look at this other box. So many colors in select. So there we go, Jamal Hill. And we go through every card because we do upload the audio to all your favorite podcast platforms after the show. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, wherever you get your podcasts. We'd appreciate you if you subscribe here on YouTube. You can subscribe on those audio platforms, but help us out a lot if you subscribe here on YouTube. Anthony Smith, David Dvorak, the rookie, Dan Ige, John Jones. That's just the base card. We pulled the silver last week of John Jones. Somebody bought that. And we got Rafael dos Anjos, number to 175. So we've got our memorabilia card out of the way, but looking for 2 autos. We would like to give away some cards here one of these days. Got to hit the 100 subscriber mark. But we're giving away 7 fighter lots, and ranging from 10 to 20 cards at least. We've got John Jones, Jan Blachowicz, Justin Gaethje, Robert Whitaker, Glover Teixeira, and then Holly Holm and Miesha Tate. All of those include a numbered card, and Miesha Tate actually has 2 in there. So just something to keep in mind. If you can get other people to subscribe, we can get those numbers up and start giving away some cards. So here's Dominic Reyes, Volkan Ozdemir, Jared Cannonier, Nikita Krylov with the global icons, and then we've got Habib Nurmagomedov. That is numbered to 249. So that's the blue, the light blue and red prism. I actually got a nice Habib auto that I've been holding on to. It's 2021 Chronicles Tools of the Trade. It's got 3 patches on it. So we'll add that to that lot. So hopefully when we do decide to move that'll be in there. Be halfway done after this pack. So we got John Jones, TJ Dillashaw, Chris Barnett, Magomed Ankalaev Sensations, and TJ Dillashaw Tricolor. All right, so our two autos are going to be in this last half. There we go. Tim Elliott, Corey Sandhagen, Raul Rosas, Stipe Miocic Sensations, and then we've got a Tyler Santos blue and red. And that is numbered to 199's premier level. The thing about the Select is a great product, a really good looking product this year, but pretty much fly through it. Hey Tom, thanks for joining us. Got a Prism Poton rookie. Nice. Yeah, absolutely give you more room to flip. Had he not lost to Izzy, I mean, he would have been up there with Bo Nickel on our Hobby Top 5. So our Hobby Top 5 is Bo Nickel, Shavkat, Rachmanov, Hamzat Chimaev, Aaron Blanchfield, and Alex Pineda. I mean, he'd be number 2, I think, behind Bo Nickel. So him winning, it just ups that stock, and very much better today than it was on Friday, for sure. Pierre Rodriguez, Conor McGregor, Manon Fiorot, Brock Lesnar, and Robert Whittaker Tricolor. And definitely the autos are going, pretty well right now too. And Jack Della Maddalena. I'm surprised we still have it, actually. So there's a Tricolor Robert Whittaker. I can go with our Octagon canvas that we have from Donruss and put that in there. All right. Gerald Meerschaert, Chris Gutierrez, Tony Ferguson, and we've got Yuri Prochazka, blue and red auto. Nice. That is numbered to 75. So first Yuri auto that we pulled on the show. We did have Immaculate. We had a red numbered 25, so not our lowest numbered Yuri, but that's a good one right there. We've been pretty good with our autos so far. And then you finish it off with John Jones with the silver. That's different than the silver we had last week. This one's the concourse. We have one of the other ones. I think we have the octagon side last week. So, another John Jones silver. So one more auto. We'll go back through everything that we hit tonight. Marina Rodriguez, Javid Basharat, Matt Frivola, little placeholder, and Jared Cannonier. Getting all the John Jones, the tricolor. Two more to go, one auto left, we hope. Stipe Miocic, Max Holloway, Paul Craig, Corey Sandhagen Sensations, and wow, we got some Yuri stuff going on. So Yuri with the die cut, silver. That one's not numbered. Tom, do I like the horizontal octagon side? Yeah, actually it's a much better looking product on the horizontal. It makes them stand out from the rest of the cards. I look better signed too. So hopefully we've got an auto in this last pack. Yeah, as a graphic designer a little bit, I like that too, the orientation. You get a little more of the action in there, the horizontal. All right, so there should be an auto in here. So Stephen Thompson, we actually didn't talk about this one. So that fight between Wonder Boy, welterweight division, it was Stephen Thompson ranked 7th and Michel Pereira ranked 15th. And that one was taken off the card because Pereira missed weight pretty badly by 3 pounds, and so Stephen Thompson didn't want to go through, wanted to kind of punish people for making weight, kind of standing his ground there. So we didn't get that one on the main card last night. So Stephen Thompson, Shogun Hua, Mahashate Haiser, it's a rookie, and let's look at this silver first before we do that auto. So TJ Dillashaw, and let's pull this auto. Jose Aldo, silver. So not numbered, but now we have a Jose Aldo, because we have a pretty good stack of Jose that I've been holding on to for a long time, looking for somebody to take those, and I think that might motivate somebody to take those off my hands. Yeah, I saw it says Wonder Boy didn't get paid last night. I'm just wondering if they have another fight coming down the road. Hopefully they do. That they're going to take care of him for that, but we'll see. So finish it off with the Jose Aldo. I'm actually excited about that because I've been holding on to that whole stack of Jose Aldo cards for a long time. So you find the right home. So we end up with a couple of TJ Dillashaw color. Nothing numbered, but people who PC Dillashaw, I've got a ton of those. So that was the last one. So let's go back through them. That's right. Jose's is nice. A real auto, lots of letters, and a lot better than the Jack Della Maddalena we got last week. It's just JDM. So here we go. Let's go back through these hits. And Tom, I really appreciate you being on here. Makes it a little more fun. We got somebody to interact with. Just telling people, what cars they collect and everything. It makes it a lot more fun. So Yan Xiaonan is silver. Carlos Ulberg with the purple. That one's numbered to 99. Here we go with the Bo Nickel Octagon side. Not too shabby. There's our memorabilia card, Billy Quarantillo. That's Sparks. It's not numbered. Rocket last week was. There's Jamal Hill with the maroon. It's 149. Rafael dos Anjos with the red. That one's numbered to 175. Habib with the light blue and the red. That one's numbered to 249. TJ Dillashaw tricolor. Tyler Santos with the blue and red. That's numbered to 199. Robert Whitaker tricolor. And here we go. Late autos in this box, but worth the wait. Yuri Prochazka, blue and red. Numbered to 75. We've got a John Jones silver. And that was followed right up with a John Jones tricolor. We've got a couple of Yuris in here. Yuri Prochazka with a die cut. And last pack was Jose Aldo silver prism auto. And the TJ Dillashaw silver. And we pulled a bunch of rookies tonight too. We'll sleeve those up. Somebody will want those. So really appreciate everybody being here, especially Tom. Thanks for hanging out here late on a Sunday night. But we hope you enjoyed UFC 291 last night. We'll look forward to Fight Night next week in Nashville with Corey Sandhagen and Rob Font. And if I don't sell that tie-dye auto of Corey Sandhagen before Saturday, I hope he wins. It's a funny thing about UFC. It's different from other sports because the cards just rise and fall with wins and losses. And like you saw Derek Lewis, I saw somebody yesterday. They said a month ago you couldn't give his cards away, and you couldn't. Like it was really tough because of the losses he had mounted up. But after last night, people once again looking for Derek Lewis. I'm a Houston guy, and Derek Lewis is a Houston guy, so I like him. But he's the good example of one of those guys that just goes on a losing streak or faces a loss or two in a row. Can really affect the resale value, the trade value of their cards. So it was good to see him get back on track last night. But yeah, it's going to be a good one next week for a fight night. Jessica Andrade, Tatiana Suarez isn't too bad either. Kennedy and Jechiku's always fun to watch. They did add a fight this week, Diego Lopez and Gavin Tucker. Lopez looked really good in his featherweight debut, so see if he can get a win out there. So we'll be looking forward to that, and we'll be right back here next Sunday at 9 o'clock Central. So, yeah, thanks, Tom. I'm a little brave for this stuff. It ain't cheap. So we hope that the show continues to grow and people enjoy it and subscribe. And like I said, we'll keep working on those guests and working on getting them in here. But once again, join us next Sunday right here, same place, youtube.com/@UFCFightCards. Subscribe. You'll never miss a show if we're an hour late like we were tonight. And, usually we're here every Sunday, but the month of July has been a little bit tricky. So, yeah, thanks, everybody, for coming in. And we will see you again next week when we wrap up Fight Night from Nashville and open another box of Don Russ. Good night, everybody, and thanks for starting off your week with the UFC Fight Cards podcast. And we will see you next week after Nashville.